My book project for this month is to make a line journal for a friend. But as I was searching online for lined paper for bookbinding, it was a challenge to find the right size with the right line weight that I wanted. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I designed my own simple lined paper using Canva. If you're new here, my name is Bree from 1134 Press, where we share bookmaking, journaling, and papercraft inspiration to help you document your life. So Canva is an online design tool that's completely free unless you want to upgrade to paid features. But the free version is all you need to design your own simple lined paper. I'm personally more comfortable with designing in Adobe InDesign, but for the purposes of this tutorial, I wanted to use a design tool that's more accessible than using InDesign, which requires a paid subscription and is a little complex considering what we're using this design tool for today. All right, so let's get started and go into canva.com. If this is your first time on Canva, you'll first have to create an account. But once you set up your free account, you'll click on Create a Design in the upper right-hand side. Then select Custom Design. Change your measuring units to inches. I'm setting the width of my design to 11 inches and height to 8.5 because that's the size of the paper that I'm printing on. The thing that I don't like about Canva is that you can't create custom grid lines. Maybe it is a feature on the paid version that I'm not aware of, but the way that I'm creating custom guides for my paper is by creating rectangles. The way to do that is by clicking on elements on the left-hand side, then selecting the square icon and dragging it onto my page. And then I'm lining the square against the preset margin and stretching the top, bottom, and right side until it's the size I want. When I'm happy with the size, I'll copy and paste the rectangle on the opposite side. Print it as a test to see if you like the size and margins once the paper is folded. Also, in the Elements tab on the left-hand side, there is a line tool that I'll be using to create my lines. Once I've selected my line, I have the option to change the style and weight of the line. I chose to make it 1 point in thickness and to keep it as a solid line. But there are many options to make your lines dotted or dashed, super thick or thin. When I'm happy with the style of my line, I'll line it up with the top of my first rectangle and then add a line at the bottom. I'll then delete the rectangle so I can make the rest of my lines. I'll manually create the first few lines and eyeball the distance between each one. Once I feel good about the distance between the first few lines, I'll copy all the lines as a group and paste them until I reach the bottom of my rectangle. It can be a challenge to see if the distance between each line is correct, so what I like to do is switch into preview mode, which will make the screen bigger, and I'll take notes of if adjustments need to be made. My lines look good, so I'm highlighting all of the lines, copying them, and then pasting them onto the rectangle next to it. It's a challenge to select the green rectangle to delete it with the lines on top of it. So what I'll do is select a few lines and then select position, then select send backwards. Sending the lines backwards will enable me to click on the rectangle and delete it. Next is to download and save your design as a JPEG. And once it's saved on my computer, I can print it out. And after some test prints, I found that printing the paper at 100% works best for me, but I encourage you to experiment with your printer presets to find out what works best for you. So I know this tutorial is shorter than the other ones that I share here, but I thought that this was an important step to share in the process of making this journal. The holidays are coming up, so some of you will be thinking about creating books and journals for your friends and family. And if you're looking for lined paper or having issues with finding lined paper that you need for your project, using Canva is totally a viable option. But if you have had success with purchasing lined paper online, definitely share that with us. Some people don't have access to printers and it might just be easier to buy lined paper. So if you have a source that you recommend, definitely share that with us in the comments below. And so I guess until then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.